y'all can hear me. So hey y'all, how y'all doing? We on you, Mr. Walker. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is Lene with the Lene Gray Show. I am coming to you live from KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's first global community radio station. You're most likely listening to me on KUA on Facebook on KUAW-LPFM 985. You can also listen to me live stream, and we were supposed to have music today, but I wasn't sure if the music was licensed, so I just wrote it out of my program and didn't even send it in. But you can listen to me live on YouTube, Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, and TuneIn by typing in the letters KUAW. If you want to contact our station for anything, you want to have a show, or you have a special, like a lot of guests say that, oh, well, nobody had me on their show. Well, we didn't know about you. So, but if you email the station and say, hey, I have a show that I think that would be awesome for the people on the show to, the people who have shows on your channel to interview, you type, go email KUAW985@gmail.com. Our telephone number, we love callers. And for this show, we definitely love to have callers for this show. Our telephone number is 816-599-6893. Oh, I forgot you can watch us on Periscope too. I just saw it running across the top of my head. If you don't remember the number that I just said, just literally look above my head. The number is scrolling by. Our webpage, if you don't want to log in, maybe you're fasting from social media, our webpage is KUAW.org, and you can go to the webpage and live view any show that we have going on KUAW. We also have an ongoing, I call it an ongoing station fundraiser for upgrades. And so as you all see, and if you saw from this end, you all see it from one end. If you saw from this end, we have so much new stuff. It is a testament to the donations that come into the station, and you can donate as little as $2 a month. Just go to KUAW.org, click on donate, and then you type in your amount, and you can have it just come straight out via your PayPal. And so we want to thank you all for joining in on our KUAW show today. First, I want to say happy birthday to my daughter, my firstborn child. She is 27 years old today, and yay, Tink. I know she don't want me calling her Tink, and that's the one who made me an Ivy League mom. And then on top of that, though, y'all, on top of that, she came out #1 out of Columbia University in Manhattan, New York. She did that. Little girl from the hood. Come on now. So, I'm excited. Happy birthday, baby. Happy birthday, Tink. This is the perfect show for you. You and Mama. Cancer season. Oh, that's right. Ray just had a birthday. Yours is 26? 23rd. Ray just had a birthday on the 23rd. Happy birthday, Ray. And I'm going to introduce to you all my special guest co-host, and his name is Raymond King Lucas. He's an amazing poet, if you haven't heard him. Go ahead, Ray. Introduce yourself and shout out. Give all your shout outs at the beginning of the show so they know you.
Hello, everybody. Good evening to the staff here and everybody listening, tuning in. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Lene, for letting me just come in with you.
Thank
Pardon
you.
my sweating profusely.
We both over here sweating, seriously.
For a shout out just to everybody on earth. I'm not going to single anybody. Everybody's living under the same kind of just mental whatever, you know,
right.
in their own
You're
form,
right.
handling in their own form and fashion. So just
You're
love
right.
to everybody. But yeah, to the family of the little boy here recently, I have to say that. Heart out to
legend.
them. Yeah. To everybody. To my daughter, hi Kylie. Pop love you. My oldest, family, everybody, mom, everybody. I can't. Your family. His family.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we want to thank Ray for coming in. Ray came in, I called you in last night? Last night. Because I was trying to find a male to co-host this with that I knew he's going to, make jokes or whatever, but it wasn't going to be extremely uncomfortable. And I told him, I said, well, one of the things we can do is you can later put this in for your daughters and be like, here, watch this. This is a talk from daddy. Because you literally sitting here while we're having this conversation. Mm-hmm. And so I have been telling everyone all week that this show is parental guidance is suggested or advised, because this is our sexual health and sexual responsibility show. This show is going to cover the gamut of a lot of things. I think Mr. Walker hits me with that the most. I'm probably the show host, and he's like, "All right, where's my button?" But so, as you know, the thoughts and opinions, you heard exactly what he said. It is literally the thoughts and opinions of the Lene Gray Show. So if anybody is offended, message me. I got thick skin. I don't care. So we're going to start out today, though. And we're going to start out on the serious note. I gave Ray notes, so I'll let him, because he hasn't had the chance to really read through them. When you ready to chime in, or just go on ahead and chime in. I didn't have a lot going on, y'all. So, but the first thing we're going to do, we're going to discuss preventing sexually transmitted diseases, prevention and treatment. Here's one thing that I noticed, and this is crazy, and you wouldn't notice it unless you catch the bus. There is a drug that prevents transmission of HIV, and it's called PrEP, P-R-E-P. Now, it is shown all over the buses. It is, I think it's the first one where it says HIV and AIDS on the, but it is all over the buses in the predominantly non-Black areas. You sit on the bus and you see PrEP, HIV prevention. On the Black buses, because I ride all over the city, you don't see it. You don't see it. But I'm going to read to you all what it is. And it's, I took all of these stats from the CDC. And HIV and AIDS, according to the CDC.gov, pre-exposure prophylaxis, or PrEP, is a way for people who do not have HIV but are at very high risk of getting HIV to prevent HIV infection by taking a pill every day. The pill, brand name Truvada, contains two medicines, tenofovir and emtricitabine, whatever that word is, that are used in combination with other medicines to treat HIV. And so what's going on is, I don't think a lot of Black people know this. And I think our numbers would definitely plummet if Black people knew that all you got to do is go to your doctor or the health department and say, give me a pill that I take daily because I don't have one sex partner. Or, you know, that right there, that would curb our numbers tremendously. But this is information that we're not
or
given.
Or are we missing something? Because like you said, you didn't see the signs in predominantly Black areas, or
right?
Whatever. So, and it's saying who at high risk of getting. Imagine everybody's at high risk if you're out here.
Right, and they consider Black communities high risk.
High risk.
They consider us the high risk, and so whenever they talk about the new HIV and AIDS numbers, Truvada. Thank you, Latrell. But every time they talk about the HIV and AIDS numbers, they say the Black community is the high risk community.
14%.
Right. So how is it that Right. Yeah, but I don't have cable, so I didn't see it. I don't pay to watch TV. I'm frugal. I'm very frugal. But I mean, for those who are on the and I'm calling out Ride KC, put them on all the buses, every single bus, not just the buses that serve the non-predominantly Black areas. The next one we're going to talk about is syphilis. According to CDC.gov, I keep hearing people say there are home remedies for syphilis. According to CDC.gov, there are no home remedies or over-the-counter drugs for syphilis. People, listen to this. No home remedies or over-the-counter drugs for syphilis. But syphilis is easy to cure in its early stages. A singular intramuscular injection of long-acting benzathine penicillin G will cure a person who is primary, secondary, or early latent syphilis. Treatment will kill the syphilis bacterium and prevent further damage, but will not repair damage that is already done. And so Last year I did when I did the 2018 when I did the show, I gave the stats for Kansas City. Because I know people are going to be watching from a lot of other places. I'm just giving you CDC stats. And if you're in another country, do your country stats and know your status. Get tested. Chlamydia, according to CDC.gov, and I didn't know this about chlamydia. According to CDC.gov, chlamydia can be easily cured with antibiotics. HIV positive persons with chlamydia should receive the same treatment as those who are HIV negative. Persons with chlamydia should abstain from sexual activity for 7 days after single dose antibiotics or until completion of 7-day course of antibiotics to prevent spreading of the infection to partners. It is important to take all medication prescribed to cure chlamydia. And they said medication should not be shared, and I would shudder to think that people are sharing their medication with someone. And they said although the medication will stop the infection, it won't repair the damage. And if you still have symptoms, you have to return to your primary healthcare provider. They said repeat infection with chlamydia is common. Here's the problem with that. If you don't keep going to go get checked to make sure you have it, ladies, this is our ladies show, it can cause pelvic inflammatory disease. Pelvic inflammatory disease affects your reproduction system, and it causes your reproduction system to basically shut down. You won't be able to have children. So you got to keep going to the doctor. Next up is gonorrhea. Can be cured with the right treatment. According to the CDC, recommends a single dose, 250 milligrams of intramuscular ceftriaxone and 1 gram of oral azithromycin. Oh, that's a antibiotic because they gave us that for one of my kids, and he didn't have no STD, I think. Or it might be something like that. Anyway, it is important to take all the medication prescribed to cure gonorrhea. Medication for gonorrhea should not be shared with anyone. Although medication will stop the infection, it will not repair permanent damage done by the disease. So that tells you to test yourself. Get tested. Know your status, people. You have to know your status because you don't want to get to the point of permanent damage that you can't repair.
For others and yourself.
Absolutely. You want to make sure that everybody is being safe. Yeah. And it's nothing to get the test and show the person you're sleeping with.
It's free.
Yeah. And they don't tell you how many times you can come in there. They do not tell you how many times you can come in there. Come in there as many times as you want. They want you in there.
And they got a bowl of preventions in there too.
Sure do.
To take with you.
Absolutely. You can fill up your purse with them. So can. Yeah. Ask me how I know. So then we have genital herpes. Genital herpes is a common STD, and most people, here's the strange part. Most people with genital herpes infection do not know they have it due to being asymptomatic. There is no cure for genital herpes. Antiviral medication can, however, prevent or shorten outbreaks during the period of time the person takes the medication. In addition, daily suppressive therapy for herpes can reduce the likelihood of transmission to partners. Here's the one that we saw the really... But see, that's why you got to be careful. Go ahead. What's your question?
I'm saying people dealing with people, at what point do you think it's right to express if you...
I think way before the sexual encounter happens. I think if a person knows...
Way before you even start talking about it?
No. I think, okay, like you can start talking about it. You can get there with the conversation. But once you realize, oh, wait a minute, this conversation is about to be like turned into something physical, because that starts normally on the phone, that's when you disclose. Yeah. I feel like that is the point in time to say, hey, okay, let's have a real conversation. And I'm going to say some hard things, but this is your choice of whether you want to receive the information or not. Because what happens is you don't want people to be afraid to tell you, but people who are afraid to talk, everybody has their right to say no. Everybody has their right to have
You don't rob nobody of that.
Yeah, you don't rob them of that. And if they say
just
no...
as bad as a person with a gun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
It's no
You're
different.
robbing someone. You do not do that. You give a person the same respect that you would have expected from the person who did that to you. That's all it is to it. And I tell people this. There's a large community of people out here with all these. I mean, when you look at the numbers, so you never know. You might be telling somebody and they be like, oh, well, thank God, because I have that same. You get what I'm saying? So open up, be adults. I always say sex is an adult act. And it doesn't mean that you're adult age. It means that you're adult in your mindset.
Yeah, that's what makes it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And an adult can have a real conversation.
You don't have to.
You get what I'm saying?
You don't have to.
You have to. You know, don't hide that stuff from people. Don't do that. That's, to me, that's just not fair. And so, and that's one of the things that I'm glad you asked that question before the HPV came up, because HPV is, everybody knows, it's human papillomavirus, cervical cancer, genital warts. The crazy thing is they have no test to reveal if men have it. They have no test to reveal if men have genital warts or cervical cancer. So a man will have to say, yeah, my ex had cervical cancer, or I have genital warts, or she has. He would have to reveal that to a woman long before they have a sexual encounter, because cervical cancer kills women. You know, I've known several women to die from cervical cancer because they found out too late, because you get a pap smear once a year, you know, and by the time they do the pap smear, it has metastasized, or whatever you want to call it. It's spread, and those women, it costed them their lives.
You can only get one a year?
I mean, you can get as many as you want, but the insurance only pays for one a year. So I guess you would have to go to the health department or free health clinic and get as many as you need. But that's the thing about it. The man can go get as many checks as he want to get. HPV ain't gonna show up unless he has genital warts, or I think they said prostate cancer or something like that. But it turns into cancer. So I mean, this is where this adult conversation comes. You know, people are like, oh, don't get into people's sexual past. You better.
You have to.
You got to.
Why be intimidated of it?
It's life and death. It's they past.
It's the past.
That's how I feel. I want to know. Talk to me. I'm gonna ask questions. Ask me any questions you want to ask. I'm gonna answer. It's the past. I'm trying to talk to you and move forward with you. And so that's something that
the details of what
I've you ain't got to go detailed down.
How did you know?
No, that's
as far
that is a bit weird to me.
Some shakeups and some checkups that had to be had,
right.
You know, you need to explain that.
Right, absolutely.
Even if you passed it.
Absolutely. And even if you, like you said, even if you passed it, you know, you still have to have those conversations. Those are real conversations that need to be had. Now that we've talked about all of this, the question is, how do you prevent these diseases? Well, we know the only way to prevent it is abstinence. That's the absolute only way. But then the next best way is using condoms. A lot of men say they hate using condoms. Here's the thing, and here's a little trick I learned. I'm an older woman. Y'all listen to me. But I think most men know this trick. Men who hate using condoms because they say they can't feel anything. You get the one that feels like skin, that's next to nothing, and you drop a bit of KY in the tip, and you put the condom on. And I've been told, I'm not a man, but I've been told it makes things feel almost real, almost like there's no barrier, but you're still protected. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
You can't have your cake and one. You know, cake and ice cream. You got to choose what you're trying to do. You want to go ahead and explore and make it real as possible. Dive on out there into this world of possibilities, or you can just enjoy what is before you protect yourself. And
absolutely.
Just make the most of that.
Make the most of it. And I believe the same thing, because I always tell people it is heartbreaking to comfort a woman who's like, oh, well, I'm allergic to latex, but I slept with this man with a condom, without a condom. And I'm like, did you see his results first? And she's like, no. What? Why would you play Russian roulette like that? And now you sitting here upset at this man because he didn't disclose something to you. Why would you do that? So y'all, I tell people, even if you are allergic to latex, you better take you some Benadryl. Enjoy yourself. You be sleep when you're done.
They got other brands like the lambskin.
Yeah, they do. They have lambskin, but they say latex is the absolute best. But they have lambskin. And if you want to get condoms. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna address something about condoms because a lot of men try to give excuses for the reason why they don't like them. Go to www.healthline.com and you want to type in condom size chart, and www.healthline.com and then /health/healthy sex /condom size chart. They teach you how to measure for condoms. So first off, this is what I'm going to say to everyone. If you are not willing to touch it, grab it, look at it, check the meat, measure for condom size, you shouldn't be doing sex. You shouldn't be doing nothing sexual.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. There are a lot of women who are like, when I explain this to them, they're like, oh, you're so bold about sex, and you're not. Why are you having sex?
With no information of it, it is literally a foreign object being entered into you.
Absolutely.
I mean? Foreign, but you can get to know it. It's history, everything, and
Absolutely.
it won't have to be so foreign. It just be a oblong, structure.
Absolutely.
Right.
And this right here will help you get rid of the fear and the nervousness about. First off, y'all, don't thank you. Don't be having sex if you scared to touch it. So I mean, that's the first part. That's okay, but we'll wait for later for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to measure for condoms. First off, measure his penis while it is erect. For people who don't know what erect means, it means hard. Never measure his penis when it is flaccid. If you don't know what flaccid means, it means limp, because you will not get the right fit. And like I said, if you're not willing to measure his penis, then you should not be participating in sexual activities.
And on another, this is for ladies. If he doesn't feel like he can remain, it's guys out there can't remain even erect inside the condom, and it's probably because he's not into you. Look at that as a different kind of sign.
That's true.
Don't try to. And this is me saving women. This is
me
hating on guys.
That's why I got you
and
here.
Telling women, you
yes.
know, like he probably just ain't into you. You might need to just reconsider the thing right there. Just make that drastic choice, even though you were so close.
Yes.
Why not? I didn't walk away. That's why I laughed before you start reading the Healthline condom size chart. That I hope people picked up on, because you was like, I know men don't like to say they don't wear condoms, and I can't let you do that all show tonight. Okay. I cannot let you just throw me in under the bus, because I myself, no names given, of course, in my past. Well, let me get this. You don't need it.
Oh wow, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm. This is past, you know.
Yeah.
You don't need it. It's cool. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need.
See, by me, okay, because I'm a woman that's experienced that, and I'm a woman that's men are like, oh no, I don't want, no, you're not touching me. You walk out the door. So as a man, he's saying, hey, y'all ladies, y'all need to cut that out. That's dangerous.
It is.
That is absolutely dangerous. Y'all need to stop that.
I'm the monster. When right then I'm like, well, you ain't trying to let me. I'll get up and walk right on out. I'm cool.
Wow.
There ain't no point.
That's horrible. That's really dangerous. Ladies, be safe. I don't care what you thinking. You got to be safe. You cannot play Russian roulette with your life. That's what you cannot do.
It could all be, like I said, a fun. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, okay.
Fun thing, you know. Go test it and everything together.
And enjoy it. I mean, like, enjoy the entire thing.
You are celebrating life by getting tested together.
Absolutely.
You got to look at it like that. You are celebrating life. Like, okay, we're going to get into this. It's not it's dangerous because we're foreign to one another. Absolutely. Yeah, we know each other emotionally. We might think we know each other mentally, but what about physically or structure? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you got a wart to grow under your arm?
Absolutely. I mean, and I always tell people like this. If you had cancer, God forbid, if you met a person, that is covered under the HIPAA law. So if you met a man and you had breast cancer, you would tell him, I have breast cancer. So it's the same, and people are like, oh no, but it's a stigmatism. It's a stigma because it's a STD. We got to remember, we grown folks. These STDs been going on for centuries. You get what I'm saying? They've
Not
been
gonna
going on for
stop.
centuries. These things are not new.
We're just being informational.
This is just so y'all don't be afraid to disclose this stuff, because hopefully now people will start saying, let's go get tested. So then you own the spot with disclosing what your status is, if you know. So let's go ahead and get into measuring length.
We got more black-owned free clinics. I mean, just really kind of
Yes.
to have a topic here, y'all.
Absolutely.
You know, this can bring about some change.
Some
if
real
we
change.
care more about us, everybody. I don't care your sex.
Yeah.
Because people sleeping interracially and
Yeah.
just care about the person until you're right or you're left.
Absolutely. So for measurement, it says for length, place a ruler. Ruler sounds painful when you listen to this, and I'm not even a man. It says place a ruler or measuring tape at the base of the erect penis. Press the measuring tape into the pubic bone as far as possible. That sounds painful with a ruler, so you might want to use measuring tape. Fat can sometimes hide penis's true length. Measure the erect penis from the base to the end of the tip. That is the length. For girth, use a piece. Okay, I'm not mature enough to read this one. So let me pull it together. Let me pull this.
I gotta read it. Take you some string.
Go ahead.
Take you some string, like you wrapping up a Christmas present. Wrap it around the shaft.
Yeah.
Wrap it around the shaft. Pinch the points. Remember the points, and then line it up to the ruler. Straighten it. Don't pull it too hard. Just lay it straight, and then the measure. Look at the measure.
There we go. I mean, that's
that.
the reason, and that's I'm thanking you for doing that, because that's one thing that I'm not mature on that part. I'll crack up laughing the whole entire time. Not that I'm immature, but I just think it's funny.
I mean,
so it's fun.
It should be fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And ladies, if he ain't man, man, watch out. He don't want you to do it. Then you protect yourself, save yourself.
Go. And I'm telling you, ladies, if there's anything that you don't agree with, it's okay to walk away. It's okay that you're protecting yourself. For the width, you measure the same way you determine the diameter of a circle. So basically, you just take the girth and divide that by 3.14, resulting in the number of the width. That right there is how you measure for condoms. Healthline.com, www.healthline.com has a list of websites that you can go to, and you can buy specialty condoms. So hopefully you all take this serious. When we get back, we will take time. We're going to take a 2-minute break. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll take time to do our feminine hygiene portion. And after the feminine hygiene portion, we will do masturbation, sex positions, and orgasms. See you in 2 minutes.
Great show.
And we're back. I want to thank you for staying with the Lene Gray Show here on KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's global community radio station. We are doing our sexual health and sexual responsibility show. We're doing our sexual health and sexual responsibility show, and I'm here with my special guest co-host, Raymond King Lucas.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome back. Now, we've covered, if you missed the first 30 minutes, we covered the diseases and disease prevention. Now we're going into, and this is the show for the women. This is a two-part show. So on June 7th is going to be the men's show. On July. I said June. See y'all. See, it's a long month for me. It's I got more month than memory right now. So I got more month than memory. Y'all excuse me. But July 7th is going to be the male portion of. We have to do this in two parts because it's a lot of information to take in. So now we're going to discuss feminine hygiene because women, you have to make sure that your body is hygienic. We are talking about sexual health and sexual responsibility, and no man should have to smell you. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. No man should have to smell you. So the first things we're going to discuss is the number one thing about feminine hygiene that's the easiest to cover, that's the easiest to do to stop odor is get a removable shower head. Take the shower head down, put it on heavy massage or whatever, and get some good water going down there. I think that's the easiest.
Men too.
Men, absolutely.
Why not?
Absolutely. Because don't nobody like no musty balls. I mean, I hate to say it like that. Clean. Make sure that a woman does not smell you. She's not catching a whiff. As a woman, unless it's a quickie in the middle of him getting ready to go back to work or something.
Kind of love thing.
Yeah, you've been together. It's at home. Yeah. But if it's an intimate thing that y'all been like, hey, we gonna meet up and should nobody be dropping pants and stinking up the room. It should just, y'all ain't even started. Y'all, everything just stink. It shouldn't be like that. So like I said, the first thing is removable shower head. I'm gonna pull this out of the rotation because I did put it in rotation, but water. Most women don't drink enough water. And so when you don't drink enough water, your pee is dark, your pH is off, and you just have an odor. You got to get half a gallon to a gallon of water in that body a day. It pushes the odor out of the body regardless. Now, if you have a strong odor that not going anywhere after you do all of this, you need to go see the doctor because there's something wrong, and it might not be an STD. It could be something else. And so then let's talk about the cleansing that I love. Now my cousin, my baby cousin, she started a new product line, and it's an upscale, it's a luxurious product line called Tuebell KC, TUESBELLEKC. And I like that, and I like Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile liquid soap. This is one thing I'm going to tell ladies to stop using. Well, no, I can't say that because I'll get the show sued and the station sued. I will say Lene has experienced changes in my body using flavor, using what do you call that? High-end retail store products. And I don't want to name them, but y'all know they run the sales. They have the 5 for $5. They have the 5 for $25. Don't use that stuff on your body. It dries your skin out. A lot of women wonder why they have skin issues, and they're doing everything. And it's those products.
You gotta get some. They have to put something in there to keep
it on the
smells
shelf.
alive, keep it fresh.
That's the reason why I would not make hair products, because when I got to the FDA and they told me everything I had to put in to keep it on the shelf. And they were like, no, because your stuff that sits on the shelf for a year don't go out for a year and a half. And I was like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm not about to do that. And I'm not about to keep making it at home because I wanted to make it in. So understand that there are chemicals that go in it. So I love the Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile soap. Now, I do use peppermint. Warning. Warning. I learned it the hard way. Keep that peppermint from your nether regions.
It's a flavor.
Ooh, wait. No joke. no joke, and you will lay in your bed crying with literal ice cubes, hoping that helps. You pour milk on yourself. You're doing everything possible to stop that burning. That burning is no joke. You don't even want to use it anywhere in between your thighs, and let none of that, because it'll get in those areas. So I tell a lot of women about 2A Bell KC, TUESBE, B as in boy, ELLEKC. Just type it into any search engine and you'll pull it up, even Google. For your body, especially in the summer, once again, 2A Bell KC, but I also say use a pH balanced shampoo. You will hardly ever hear me say I use a soap. They advertised up soap. I don't use it. I use pH balanced shampoo or baby shampoo. The reason being because I have to wash parts of my body that are sensitive. So you want to make sure that you're not doing damage. You know that, and a lot of women are like, oh, I can't use soap down there. You can, but just use, and the shampoo is meant to wash odor out of hair. It's meant to cleanse the scalp and cleanse the hair. I don't care, unless you are a multimillionaire, you got hair somewhere on your body. So go ahead, use that shampoo and wash your whole body down. Just make sure you get a good smelling shampoo. That's all. Another trick that I use, which is an old lady trick. I tell people I'm an old lady in a young lady's body, because when I was little, I hung out with all the 80 and 90 and 100 years old. Everybody who I hung out with was born in the late 1890s and the early 1900s. Everybody. And so I know their tricks. They put baking soda on the towel. So you lather the towel up really, really well. And then you put baking soda on your towel and you exfoliate your body with it. And it removes the odor, underarms, everything. Now, of course.
I've never used it in baths. I brush my teeth.
Yeah, but you can, and in baths, it relaxes the muscles. And it also, if you get a bunch of bug bites, I just like take a whole box and dump it in my tub and sit in it in hot water, let that baking soda seep in there. Bug bites don't itch the following day. So that's a good thing about baking soda, is you can use it on your body to exfoliate the dead skin, to get, I wouldn't say you don't open up your labia and use baking soda down there. It's abrasive. You don't want to, no, you don't want to do that. Water and a towel, or baby shampoo, no more tear shampoo. I was talking about being pH balanced and drinking a half gallon of water. We've already discussed that. One of the ladies was asking me, because I used to own a salon, and she was like, how do you know you, because I talk to the ladies about these things, and she's like, so how do you know if you have an odor? Because you know what your smell is, you don't know if your odor gets bad. I mean, it's a good question, because she was saying she's used to a certain odor. And so
the fact you calling it odor, you know what I mean? Like, odor is odor.
So what I suggest is, and this is what I suggest, and this is even for your house, because a lot of people don't recognize their house smells. Get regular whole coffee beans and an airtight sealed container. Go buy a bag of regular whole coffee beans. Pour the coffee beans in an airtight sealed container. Close the container. So when you walk in the bathroom, before you use it, grab the container. If, like most women, when we coming home, we in a rush.
So that way you can get a fresh smell.
Sniff them coffee beans.
And then you'll know.
And then when you sitting on that toilet, you'll know, oh, well, something ain't right. Another thing, use baby wipes. But here's the thing. There are certain baby wipes I don't want women to use. And if y'all use baby wipes, y'all won't be using these regular brands on your kids, because they burn. These regular brands burn. So ladies, there's a wipe called water wipe, and it's 95% water. That is the wipe that you should use. But I always tell women, use baby wipes immediately after. You should have a pack of baby wipes on the back of your toilet.
You too.
Men too. Keep
them in your wallet.
Yeah, and it keeps you clean, and then you just wipe off with toilet paper and you're good. That keeps you clean, that, you know, keeps you smelling fresh, and you don't have to.
You feel good.
You feel better. You have a.
You ain't got a crusty sensation that you having to take in throughout the course of your day. You know what I mean? You feel good. You can stride with pride.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not walk a shameful walk, only you know what's going on. Just kind of just
yes.
Enjoy being clean.
Enjoy being clean.
No
this
crime.
Is what this is all about. So, sniff those coffee beans.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna be an adult. Come on. It's crazy, because it's like, how do you know if you just these questions? They respectful questions. I'm glad people are asking.
And unfortunately, I tell people,
it's just a question.
Unfortunately, I found in being in the salon, there was a big gap in mothering. So because there's a big gap in mothering where the moms did not feel comfortable talking to their daughters about stuff like this, the daughters just don't know. And they can be grown women and they do not have a clue because the moms did not talk to them about it. And they were often religious moms. So you could be my age. And when they had this sex ed class, oh no, your mom said, no, we opting out of that. You ain't teaching my kid that. And so the women just don't know. You know, so I look at them all as really good questions. Yeah. Even though they are funny, I have bent over on the side of my salon chair, cracking up laughing several times. So the next thing is we're going to bust the myth open here. Y'all wash y'all behind and quit relying on pineapples. Come on now. We need y'all to let me go back. Before we go to pineapples, the water bottle. That's something I keep. Mothers, please do not keep your water bottle in the shop. I've heard horror stories about men singing karaoke with their grandma's water bottle. So
I'm sitting over here because I'm thinking back of my childhood and I'm like, is that what that thing is? Because I remember taking showers in my grandma's house and
it is a douche. They call it a douche enema or water bottle. And so I have heard see the expression on Ray's face? I'm telling y'all, that is young boys are in there. You want your kids to shower. You want them to shower. So, and boys are going to go in there and they're going to find everything while they're in the shower. They might not never wash a stitch of body, but they're going to find everything in the shower to play with. And
because you put water in it?
Yeah. And you.
I didn't put water in the thing. Miss Walker, I ain't by myself. Oh, man, I'm about to call my grandma when I leave here. Like, Grandma, you kidding me?
So see, women, that's why I take mine and ball it up in my towel, take it out and put it up in my room, because I heard these stories before I had sons from men. Before I had sons, I'm like, oh my God, did you know what she was doing? But they hung it and they we gotta get through this part. They circled the hose around the shower, and it's a red bottle with a white hose. And it was a douche. They will pour vinegar in there, fill it up with water. You know how to fill it up with water. You fill it up with water and you pour a cup of vinegar in there and you let the water run through, and it's a douche. And you insert the points that most people use as a microphone. One guy said that was the way he showered. He would let the water.
I'm saying sitting in the shower as a kid playing. Like, I'm really kind of upset. I'm about to cry. I didn't put water playing and just let the water hit all on me playing with this damn, you know what I mean? In the shower playing. That's what moms take those water bottles out. Yeah. Drain them. Don't do your little man like that. I have 5 sons. They've never seen mine. And it's only because I don't want them being horrified when they find out what it really is. Because boys go in the shower and they have fun. And so the water bottles, those are really good. When they say, oh, the vagina is a self-cleaning oven. You can rinse it with water. You wash the rest of your body. You can rinse the inside out with water. You be all right. Water ain't gonna hurt nothing. Trust me. So now we're gonna move on to the pineapples. And the reason why I'm talking about pineapples, because many women have come on this thing where they're like, I don't really have to do a whole bunch. I'll just eat a bunch of pineapples before I have sex. No, ma'am. First off, there is this thing floating around, and I just learned about this, that where the women are like drinking pineapple juice and eating and they'll wash, but they ain't like doing the whole thing for the entire month. They're the
day of and day before drinking a bunch of pineapple and doing different procedures. No, you don't do that. You keep your hygiene up every single day.
And eat pineapples more than the day before.
And there's a lie that pineapples make you sweeter. Pineapples do not make you sweeter. There is a thought that pineapples actually neutralizes odor. It may, but there's no scientific proof on that. If you have, off balance a little bit. I won't even say odor, but off balance. Make sure you're not drinking a lot of alcohol. The meat that you take in. And another thing is pungent vegetables. You know, that will change. Asparagus change anybody's odor. My kids got me drunk for my birthday. I think it was 2015, 2016. And I woke up and I went to the bathroom and I was like, oh my God, because that liquor literally changes your pH. Y'all should have seen me. I was on a regimen. I probably showered about 3-4 times a day, was flushing my body, drinking water because I couldn't handle that smell that came out. So y'all have to understand that also affects your pH and affects the way your body smells.
If it catches your attention, address it.
If
the smell catches your attention, even if it's small, if it catches your attention, address it.
Immediately. Do not let it linger. Address it
please
immediately.
Don't let it linger. Keep that in the house.
Absolutely.
Don't come out your house with that. Please, for the sake of humanity and everything else, stay in the house with that.
Okay, and then we're gonna go to vaginal dryness. Different lubricants. This is a part of the sex thing. And vaginal dryness can happen for many reasons. I tell a lot of women it happens after you have children, and moms, don't stop taking your prenatal pills until your child is 3, because you just delivered a whole person with everything they need and for the rest of their life. Your body is depleted. So you have to keep taking your prenatal pills until your child, you got to build all that back up. And if you don't keep taking your prenatal pills and build that back up, you'll have side effects that you're trying to figure out what's going on with your body. So one of the things that women use to combat dryness for sexual intercourse is often lubricants such as KUAW. I found, I like this, when certain men are, you'll understand what I'm saying on the next thing, but certain men, it's harder for penetration. We can use coconut oil. Coconut oil, I like that better.
It's more pure.
It's pure. Raw coconut oil is pure, and you can get raw filtered because you don't want the little crumbs up in there like sand from beach. But you want to use raw filtered coconut oil, and it's more pure and it's lubricating, and you don't have to keep using it. Don't use spit, y'all. That's just nasty. People have done it. I'm not judging nobody. People have done it, but I mean, just keep some coconut oil. What do you have to say, Ray?
Huh? I'm just listening. I'm gonna understand why not. That's all.
I mean, because spit still dries up, and so you're gonna have to keep spitting and keep spitting and keep spitting. So I mean, just get the coconut oil.
I don't know how to address it in reply.
Go ahead.
Stay on the radio show. No, I don't know how to. I just don't even know. So I'm gonna leave it alone.
So you just keep. I mean, from what I've heard, I haven't. I don't know about that, but I keep, like, women say that the spit dries up, and so I don't know. I've not been there.
How detailed can I get?
You get
in my history, in the going of things and stopping in to spit out, and it's almost like it just gives enough to get some juices back flowing. I ain't never had to do it again after that, unless it was again that we was
Well, see, that's why you keep the coconut oil.
Yeah.
But
now I know from here on out. Yeah.
So next we're going to talk about vaginal strength and dryness, y'all. This is a real.
Pour it all on this coconut.
This is a real subject. we want to address vaginal strength and tightness. Kegels. Every woman, man, every person having sex, male and female, should do Kegels. Yes. You don't want to lose your pelvic strength. That is, and if you are having sex even just the first time, multiple times, if you just had a baby, that is mandatory. You have to do Kegels. This is where my bag comes in.
Have to.
This is brand new. I had to go get some more because I lost one. So, but these are called weighted balls. And this is, I have 6 children. But people are like, there's a question that I get asked about tightness. This is how I do it. I'm going to let Ray hold this package. See how heavy that is. Those, I walk around with those inserted all day long, and I do exercises with them, and it keeps everything tight. It keeps everything perfect. I always tell women, if you've had a baby, if you're in a long-term relationship, keep it tight for them. If you ain't in a long-term relationship, you want to keep it like that anyway. I mean, It's always going to the thing about it is if you don't keep your vaginal muscles, vaginal walls strengthened, what'll happen is Oprah did a show where the women were talking about how their vagina fell out and they were in the bathroom or they were walking and they had to push everything back in. Why? Because they did not do the muscle training. If it wasn't Oprah, it was Iyanla. One of those two did a show and the women were talking about how horrified they were. Right. I'm like, oh my God. And so that's why I literally tell women all day long, this is the one thing I always wear a Kegel ball. I'll wear these two when I'm like really wanting to strengthen or something like that. And then I have one, if it's in here, hopefully it is.
Fellas do the Kegels.
Yeah, and men do the Kegels too. That's going to be on next week's show. Okay. These are when you want to feel cute. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's got a flower in it. And I wear these like when I just want to feel cute. It's a marble and it's got flowers. I got them with lotus flowers.
Is that okay? So ask some questions because I'm looking at it. I'm saying a marble, but you're saying peppermint scent isn't good. So help me.
This is glass.
So glass is good.
It's not gonna break.
I hear glass. I think the possibility.
And I would let you touch this, but this is going in my body.
I'm good.
So, but it's a solid piece of glass. It's going nowhere. It's not gonna break. I don't know how a woman could possibly break this in her. I mean, you're not even that strong. If you clamp down that hard, it would just slide. You know, so that's the thing. You want to make sure that your body stays strengthened. Kegel balls, weighted balls, and this is by Calexo, CALEXOTICS, and they're weighted balls, and the balls weigh 4.6 ounces each. So you walking around with 9.2 ounces of, and it just keeps everything tight. Yeah, right.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. So I'm gonna take 2 minutes and I'm gonna address something. I know you've probably in your past had to deal with crazy women. Once you had sex with them, couldn't get rid of them. When you were ready to go, they want to act a fool and try to fight you, tear up your car and all that stuff. We're gonna teach y'all how to stop this real quick. The reason why women act like that is not because you so in love with that man. It's because of what he did to you in the bed. So you have to learn to masturbate to make yourself feel good first. We're going to address this before the end of the show.
That's kind of hating right there. That's hating.
Well, no. It's not hating. Because when a woman masturbates, when she knows what makes her feel good, a man will never be told that he's not good in the bed. That's the secret. Because if you know what makes you feel good and you're telling him what makes you feel good and he's not listening or he's just so excited that he can't listen, you can roll him over and say, let me do this. Now, the women who don't know what makes them feel good in the bed, they don't know how to do that. And so then when they leave that encounter, it's, oh, well, he don't know what he doing. No, you don't know what you're doing because you should never leave your encounter unsatisfied without an orgasm. Women, you should never leave your encounter unsatisfied without an orgasm. It's not his fault. And those of you who fake orgasms, you're trash. I'm just going to say it. That is my opinion. Because as a woman, you should never fake an orgasm with a man because he's having sex with you so you can be happy. I mean, he can get it from anywhere. He chose to get it from you. We all got the same parts. So he wants you to be happy. He wants you to have bragging rights. Am I right? You know, most men are like, yeah. You want your woman to be satisfied.
I don't fake it because who's to say he remains? He probably a bounce around and you done got his head all big thinking he giving orgasms out here. And he going to the next one and the next one. So just don't even begin to build him up. Don't even lie.
Do not lie at all. Don't do it to yourself. Be honest. And that's the one thing that's someone asked a question.
Nobody needs nobody that much.
No, you don't. And someone asked a question and it was almost hundreds of women on Facebook who admitted to faking an orgasm. No, that means you don't know what you're doing. That's why I encourage women to masturbate so you know. I encourage the girls, I call them girls. I had my daughter at 17. If I'd have known what I was doing, things wouldn't have been the way they were. Not saying he was gentle, he was good, he was perfect with me, but I should have known what I was doing. I should have known what made my body feel good. So as a woman, women often complain, or women get crazy after food. Oh, that's my man. Half the time they acting like that because that man makes their body feel a certain way that they can't make their body feel. So this is the Lene Gray Show. This is your sexual health and sexual responsibility show. I want to thank my special guest host,
Thank you.
Raymond King Lucas. I call him Ray. And we will resume the male portion of this show on July 7th, 2020 at 8 o'clock p.m. here on KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's global community radio station. You're going to hear a little bit more in the male portion because we already covered the STD part. So we'll blow through that really, really quick, and you'll hear more. But I want to thank you. See you next Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Take care.